Welcome to the CONCEPT101 podcast. My name is Daniel.
Jules.
And Stefan.
We are three concept artists currently working in the film and games industry, as well as the organisers of the CONCEPT101 event in London, which is conveniently what we're talking about today, because it happened, it's over, it's been about a month, I think, as we're recording this since it happened.
It's been over a month, man.
Almost 2 months. So, I mean, I guess apologies for one for having so much delay between the event happening and us talking about it, but we were tired little boys.
Yes, very tired. But also, I mean, you had another podcast in between, I think.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so it was...
With the lovely Antonio.
Yes?
Stoppards.
Oh, don't. Okay, sorry, Antonio, if you're listening. But yeah, so we wanted to just we've all been busy. We've been off to places, off to other events, which we'll be talking about a little bit in this episode. This will be a kind of event-heavy episode. But we finally all managed to sit down together for another podcast recording session. And we thought, hey, let's talk about the event and what a great success it was and how much we enjoyed seeing everybody and all this good stuff.
It's a little bit of a retrospective episode. Retrospective, if I can speak properly.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean, first of all, I guess thanks to everyone who came. It was a truly impressive day for us. I think it's
Give
always
us some
amazing.
Stats.
Well, 2 people came.
Whoa.
Wow,
And it wasn't my parents.
It was my
parents. I think we had about 800 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you saw 2 people overdressed, it was my parents. They were the ones walking around.
Yeah, 800 people, which is about double than last year.
Yep.
How many talks? 17 lectures.
Yeah.
Loads of, probably 300 portfolio reviews we had at the end.
And all of it, I felt, was really good quality. All of the talks were amazing.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we thanked them on the day. We sent emails thanking them. But thank you again to everybody who decided to come and give their time and talk on stage. I think it was all of the ones that I got to see way more this year than I did last year. And they were all really, really just awesome to see.
Yeah, it was. I didn't manage to see that many talks because there was some noise things and sound that had to be fixed during the day, but at the end it was all good, I think. But the ones I was able to see was just so nice. I wish I could just sit the whole day and not do anything and just watch the lectures. It was very nice, yeah.
I definitely had also seen a lot more talks than last year. And I don't know.
Who did you get to see? We didn't get to see everybody between us, but we got to see the majority of people.
Yeah.
So I got to see Marta Nail, who was great as always. Matt Savage did a really good talk. The guys from Chromatic did a great talk. Who else did I see? ILM, I saw, welcoming the old colleagues onto the stage. Who else? Anybody else that I saw? I don't think so. I think I was busy the rest of the day. I saw Foster and Partners. They were actually Foster and Partners one was great because
it was amazing.
Yeah, and Luke Whitelock's one. I saw that. I think that was some of the most interesting stuff I saw throughout the day, just because, especially Luke and Foster's, they were showing things which kind of bridged outside of the bounds of concept art.
It's kind of practical builds.
Yeah, I really loved Luke's talk as well, just because he was showing funny on-set photos and just being so this was all destroyed, but then we fixed it, and you can see how we fixed it, and just going through the practicalities of, I guess, what most of our concept art ends up becoming on stage was super, super interesting.
I think this year something I'm quite proud of about the lineup is that we really had a huge variety of topics and of artists, and I think everyone was able to at least have 1 or 2 to 3 very interesting talks to them, even if you're more stylized work. We had Moon Colony, we had Alex Heath, who's doing amazing illustrations, Martin Ariel, so many interesting lectures towards each art style and each video games, movies, architecture, and the fact that we always, we don't always, but we always kind of have a little chat. Okay, which talk do you want to see? And we all want to see similar talks and that kind of stuff. But I still feel like this year, despite it can only be one of us at each talk at a time, we all got to see good talks, and we all got to be happy about the talks we were able to see. Which is quite nice.
Which one did you see, Jules? Which was your favorite talk?
Don't say,
All right,
don't say
what-
favorite. They won't come back
Sorry.
next year.
No, yeah. I
Well,
mean,
which
a lot
one do you
of
have
them were
like
very
a
nice.
great memory from?
Yeah, I think Alex Heath started the event, and I was very. He did some sort of. He did a demo, and he was showing how light affects storytelling. So
Yeah.
it was like the same image he would show, but he would just paint different lighting scenario.
Oh, live.
Yeah, live.
That's super
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
And he was always like he would do it very effectively and because it's very good, right? Very fast as well. And every 5-10 minutes he would come up with a new lighting scenario, talking as he was doing it, and you were like, oh yeah, that's totally like now the character is badass, or now the character is more like afraid of the environment. And it was a very good because in what we do in movies we do think about lighting, but at the same time we don't have too much time. It's not like illustration where you have a lot of time to figure out exactly what lighting you want.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, I really need to maybe think more in my own work about how to light stuff to help the narration
Yeah.
a bit more than just
How the light would look in real life.
or just like, okay, it needs to look good in like a day. How do I do it?
Yeah.
And then Jamma's talk I think was very funny for many people. I really enjoyed watch it Frame Store, which is funny because I worked there. But it was nice. It's just funny to see our colleagues on stage and explain what we do on our daily job. And I was like, yeah, my friends. But that was good. But yeah, I mean, most talks were amazing, really.
Yeah. I feel like I know which one Stefan's going to pick, but is it Sheng?
What?
Is it Sheng? Because
No,
you let that one, we love you, Sheng. His talk ran over by what, like half an hour?
No. Here's the thing with Sheng. Everyone was a massive fan of the talk. I loved it as well, but like I felt we still could have just gotten like we still had a little bit of time.
Yeah.
So we just kept pushing it, and he had so many slides, man. His talk was just. It was way too long, probably. Like
It was the perfect amount of time because it still fit just about within all the timing slots.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember I came over to the stage because I had to take over to do the next thing.
Yeah.
And then you were there and you were like, it's still going. See you later. And I was like, what?
At some point you just ran to me and you're like, it's gonna last longer. I was like, okay. I guess at the end of the day we can afford some
It was
some time now.
packed as well. His
Yeah.
talk. It was
And Shang did a very kind thing is that if you head out on our Discord, he actually shared all the slides of his lecture.
Yeah.
So because I missed the lecture, which I really wished I could have seen, and I was able to just go and look at a slide and have a laugh because they're funny and get some wisdom.
But my favorite, like one of my favorite moments, I would say, like from watching talks, was when I was at Eddie Mendoza's talk, and I was at that stage, and it was always quite bright lights, but a lot of his work is quite like dark colors, or so like it reflects a lot. So I went back and I was like, can you just like turn off everything? And like they turned off all the lights in this, and it like felt like in a cinema. So they was like they're sitting there, and I think it was just like a very nice atmosphere for like the 1 hour, just like seeing the dark and like seeing what he's presenting. So I think that was really fun, and I loved the breakdown that he does of like the images and how he works, and I think it's a very interesting way of working, and you don't really see that anymore.
I love listening to Eddie as well because he's so humble. Where you can be like, "That's an amazing image, dude," and he'll go, "It's nothing, man. It's cool. It's whatever. Did it in 5 minutes."
If I had to describe Eddie's style, it's like concept art. It's like the most concept art style possible, like like OG, heavy kind of painting yet photo bashing, and yet looking fucking amazing.
Yeah,
and
something beyond our capabilities.
Yeah. If it still looks magical to me because I don't understand how it's made. Which is
awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so apart from the talks, it was just great seeing people enjoying the day. I think
loads of great booths as well.
Yeah, Artwood's booth amazing. It was great to see Wacom booth as well.
Yeah,
booth where they people were able to try the new tablets they're selling. Shark Mob as well was really. I mean, all of them. I'm not gonna. We had like 10.
Foster's Mathematic. Did Mood have one?
Mathematic. Yeah.
Mood, yeah. Lots of them. Let's not go into naming because we're gonna forget some. So loads of people, and it was great.
Yeah, it was really good. I really love having all the booths as well at the event because it lets you have. I mean, the portfolio reviews also let you have those one-to-one interactions, but the booths really allow for that kind of like in between, not quite super formal chatting that allows you to actually make connections with people properly. I think it's a really nice thing to, because often as well when people like wandering around, even if they have like the t-shirts on which says like, you know, frame store or whatever, it can be a little bit difficult to approach them. But suddenly when someone's sat at the booth and you know that they're there to talk to, they become way more approachable, and it's so much easier to talk to people. And I always think it's a really nice opportunity, I guess, almost. It kind of helps that like networking and like person to person friendship building.
It creates an atmosphere where it's normal to just go and talk to people you don't know, and just, you know, wing it. Like just like, hey, that's me. Like just kind of talk about yourself or hear about what they have to say about the company, and kind of share a little chat. And then you know maybe they take you to do some reviews, or maybe they take you to hire you, or maybe they just say, nice to see you, bye.
And I think like from what we've talked about with people who were at the booth, so actually the companies, they see like, at least some of them I know, I think Shark Mode, they're saying that they just like, they talk to people non-stop.
Oh yeah.
Like it starts, the event starts, and then they're just talking, and then they're kind of exhausted by the end. But I think that's a good thing. You know, it means that there is always interest. People are coming to chat and ask questions, and
I think that's almost an upgrade that comes with having more people, because 400 people last year made it that to some very popular talks the booth area was a bit more empty, which kind of makes sense because people want to see the talks, right? But this year, because it was much more people, it means that you always have people who are not interested about the lecture, no matter how famous or how good lecture is, which means that we always had people chatting, interacting. And
talking about how many people were there this year, when we opened up, because you guys were still organizing stages and I was front of house, I went outside at one point. I was like, oh God, there's too many people. It was such a crazy amount of people. It was so many people that we actually essentially like under budgeted the time to get everybody in. It
took like an hour to get people in.
So thank you to everybody who actually arrived on time and came and supported all those people going up on stage. And it's just crazy to see that many people there.
What really blew my mind, I just went because I did a story for the 101 Instagram, and I click on people who tagged us, and there's like a story of someone queuing outside of the tunnel, and the tunnel is like, I don't know, 200 meters long, or maybe I don't know, maybe I'm over exaggerating, like at least 200 meters long, and I think the queue must have been 150, 200 meters long. It was massive, and like it was twice the size of last year, and we just see people queuing in the distance. You're like, oh, wow, okay, so now we need to get these people inside. Like how are we gonna do that?
So next year definitely more time.
Probably.
It's
always the issue, I guess, with organizing events is like the specific logistics of how things run, and then we had like full event management sheets, timing sheets, like this is what's going to happen here, this is what's going to happen here, and then some things we did, they happened way quicker than we thought they would. Like, for example, packing up some of our venues was happening like a quarter of the time we thought it was going to take. And then other stuff like the getting people in, we were like, well, that will take this long. And then on the day, you're like, oh, no, actually, this is going to take 5 times as long. Which is just the inherent kind of issue of doing something like this is like there's the theory and then there's the real world factors of running an event, which are always so totally different.
Which you definitely can acquire with time and experience. I think each event we're learning a lot. And I feel like, after 2 events, which are both, I'm very happy to say, quite successful, I think like we definitely learned a lot, and we have like a lot of knowledge, new skills we leveled up that we can use for upcoming years to just keep high quality. And
I do think the most clear thing that we've learned is literally the most simple obvious thing, which is the more money you have, the better it can be, pretty much, which is the inherent problem with any like event management things. It's like, oh, we would love to have better audio system, a better projector, and it's like, but that costs another $3,000 of funding. The costs are insane actually for running this.
It's surprising like how much tech costs. when you want to hire it, when you need to hire it in, and then it has to be installed, and sometimes what if the venue doesn't have like a ways to install, then you need to buy the installment equipment, and you need to hire a crew, and the crew to installs it, like it's gonna be like a full day wage, and
especially given the venue. Because the venue looks very cool, but it is underground, which means that it's not kind of made to have clear, crisp sounds. So it costs a lot to get to the point of audio quality we went to. And
Yeah.
I think we all can agree that we'd like to improve the audio quality and the video quality in the next times.
Yeah. Wait, Jules, next time?
Next time.
Are you saying that?
No, no. Concept 101.
I have to do this again?
No.
I mean, that's a good point as any to say that we're already started planning the next one. Like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. It's happening for sure. You guys have shown a lot of support, and we really appreciate that. And we just want to
Keep going.
keep going. Yeah,
But
yeah.
we are still at the beginning of collecting budget and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So
it's early days.
yeah.
By the time the next event comes along, I think I'll have lost all my hair probably.
yeah.
I'll be completely bald. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, something else we learned, I guess, this year is that the three of us doing this is great. It's a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of mental charge. So this year we're just gonna have more help around us, a bigger team, and this as well hopefully will increase the quality level of the event, and will make that Daniel might not end up losing all his hair.
Well, I might just shave it off.
Yeah.
That way we never know how much I lose. I think it's an interesting thing to talk about though, is while I'm sure that many people who listen to the podcast appreciate how much time it takes, there's a lot of people who come to the event who I would say are although the majority of people who come are very polite, it's not, some people you meet are less polite. And I think it is interesting. I just want to say, especially for Jules and Stefan and myself, goddamn does it take a lot of time to put an event together every year. And on top of all the other stuff we do, it can be a lot. And I'm actually I'm very collectively proud of us for managing to emotionally keep it together for about a year, for 2 years doing this now.
Yeah.
I would have lost it probably in the first year if I was doing it alone.
We've been doing more of this than I've spent time in a company.
Yeah, true.
Because I've spent time in a year and a half in each of my jobs so far.
Yeah.
Then I just moved on. And so Concept 101 has been going longer than any of my professional career. Not for you though, Stefan. Yeah, you stayed at Track Mob.
I have, but I also wanted to say that I'm also proud of us, and I agree with Dan. I think this is something that by ourselves, it's something that we probably all would have quit. Probably, it's just mentally by one person it would be impossible, I think, and then you need the other people to keep you accountable and to keep you going and stuff like that. Otherwise, it doesn't really work out.
But I guess that's kind of why we're probably we already have spoken with the people that we're kind of expanding the team with and stuff, and I think we're all kind of looking forward to that because it's going to help us have more balanced lives as well, and not just, I mean, it takes a lot of time, and when you're also doing your job and then you're trying to do personal work, you're trying to do this and that. I know there's been many discussions where sometimes we would meet up for our weekly meeting about the event, and one of us would be like, I just want to do my painting.
I want to play video games and see friends and just enjoy life.
Or remember we were discussing, it's we can't wait for the time when we can just meet together and just play board games.
Yeah. Instead of having to talk about business expenses.
Yeah, we keep chatting. Oh, we should go climbing, or we should do this thing, and we're like, yeah, when we finish Concept 101. And now here it is, a month after Concept 101, and we're
planning it again.
Let's do Concept 101 again. We're like, oh fuck, well, no climbing, I guess.
Nah, we should still find time.
But it's an interesting thing. I guess it's something that a lot of people, if you're thinking about doing stuff like this, it's something to consider. Because I think it's hopefully as well, the fact that we're idiots, the three of us. I'm the least idiot. You guys are way dumber than me.
Well, I don't know. Jules has a Swiss education.
He does have a
high Swiss education. Yeah.
I don't think he was listening for most of it. But I mean, I think the fact that we've been able to do it should be a great indicator to lots of people out there. If you're in a town or a city, where you don't have a lot of events Concept 101, or you don't have the kind of community, you can try and build it. And I think that's actually quite doable. I think it's been easier for us because we're all in London, which is obviously one of the kind of art capitals of Europe. But hey, look, if you're in Madrid, if you're in Sicily, wherever, I'm sure there must be other artists around you. And why not just put in a few hours a week and set up a little drink and draw, or do something like that. I think it's a great thing to do.
I think that the community overall is very eager to have more of this.
Yeah.
And I think something I've noticed with also something with NonStop Barcelona, which we're going to talk about a bit later, is that the community is just very nice and people are just eager to just meet people and chat and be able to talk with other people that understand what the fucking brush is and how PSD work and what Blender add-ons are and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not that hard. Something I was also saying in the previous episode is that when you see companies from the outside or you see any professional thing from the outside, it looks so fucking watertight, so amazingly made, so like these guys know everything they're doing. They're professional and all that. And then when you actually make your own thing from scratch, because we had to set up a company and it's like all made from nothing really.
Yeah.
For this event, you kind of realize.
Oh, it's all duct tape.
We might, yeah. I'm glad we look professional if we do. I don't know, and I'm glad the event is happening well and everything. But you don't need you feel to be you don't need to be in control of everything all the time because you won't.
Yeah.
And companies are not in control of everything all the time.
Yeah. Totally.
It's just people trying not to drown.
There are a few things you need to be in control. Your expenses. As I put on my glasses back again. Your day organizing when it happens. Have a great plan. Because I think those are two things that if those are not well made, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
And you need good friends to support you through it.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. Good friends or a lot of money.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we're friends.
Yes.
Oh man.
Oh, such brutal truth.
Sad truth.
So I wanna talk a little bit about the day after the event, maybe 2 days after the event, essentially, when we also got to
Hung out over the weekend. Yeah.
So those are really fun parts as well. Even actually the night before the event happened, we went to a party, not a party,
We just went
like
to
a
a
pub.
hangout at a bar.
Yeah.
And Darek was there, Zabrodsky, Michal Kus was there from Focal Point.
Yeah, there were 50 people there, but are these the only two that you remember? It's pretty rude of you, man.
I talked to them a lot. I mean, Riz came down, Jacob came down, Yanis came down. Let me just
Get through all
face.
50.
Yeah. People, concept artists, people who make arts.
But it was lovely. That was organized by Juan, I think, right?
Yeah.
So who was one of our managers on the day. So he put that together just to see people. And then OPB also had a meetup the day before, which was really great, which we couldn't get to because it was a bit far from where we were doing our organizing that day.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we went to this party for an hour or so.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Yeah,
Because we had to do event stuff.
We had a very stressful day, and I remember we went there. I was like, "Give me the strongest beer that you have, and a burger."
Yeah.
And then we went home and finished up the organizing stuff for the next day. But yeah, I mean, you're right. The weekend was lovely. On the Saturday, I had my birthday party because everybody was about, so that was really enjoyable seeing everyone. And I think it was nice as well to. I think as a concept artist, a lot of the time you have because we're quite online gremlins, you have a lot of friends who are from America, from Asia, from other parts of the world. And because so many people who we knew came for the event, it was a really nice day actually to see so many people I usually wouldn't get to see.
Totally. And it's also way easier to, create create relationship with people.
Yeah.
If you see them in real life.
Yeah, totally.
Because some people, I'm not the biggest Discord guy, so I don't really want to go and chat on Discord people for hours.
Yeah.
Just because
you hate everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. Yeah. No, but it's okay, now I'm seeing the people in real life. I'm taking the time to truly talk to them in real life. Yeah. And I think this is very nice. And I think that's a nice also outcome of events in general, is that people travel and they tend to stay around for a while.
For a few days,
and then you kind of just, meet them, get to know them properly. And that was a great thing about the few days after the event.
And then on the Sunday we just chilled and walked about London a bit, watched a ripped version of Mission Impossible in the evening.
I don't know if you should be saying that out.
It's fine. We work in the film industry. We're allowed to do it, actually. The film industry is stealing from me every day.
All your time and effort.
Yeah. But no, I had a really great weekend. It was really great, especially to decompress after the event.
Yeah.
When it's finally done and you can just actually relax for the first time in... Because the whole lead up to the event, almost the 2 months preceding it is so stressful. And then it gets progressively, it's like a gradient of pain the closer it gets to the event.
Yeah. And it boils up to the event. And the event is like the explosion. And then you go home the same night and you're like, I mean, I was just there in my living room and I was like, oh wow, it's done. And it's just silence, So it was like all this explosion, bubbling. Okay, it's happening, and then you go home and you're like, oh shit.
It's like you've been holding your breath for 2 months
Yeah,
and you can
yeah.
finally go.
And I'm like, tomorrow I have nothing planned, and the week after I have nothing planned, and we don't. Yeah, it's just like, oh,
So nice.
yeah.
I feel like I couldn't, like, even on when the after party was happening, I still felt like I had like shot of adrenaline in me, and it lasted all the way until I got to my girlfriend's place.
Yeah.
And even then, like, and then I was at the after party still essentially just like this, just like shivering in the corner, like what the fuck is happening, like, and like
That would be the shot of adrenaline I hit you with when you weren't looking.
yeah. I don't know. So like I was just
straight
like,
into the thigh.
or not shivering, but I was just like there sitting and like trying to. I wanted to relax, but I couldn't. If that makes any sense. And then on the day when Daniel has his birthday party, was the first day that I finally was just like chill and like could actually talk normally with people, and so I really enjoyed that.
And it was also very rewarding those few days after, where people just were very kind to us, I think, and we were just saying thank you and that kind of stuff. Because during the day you don't really have time to speak with people, or maybe at the after party a bit.
Yeah.
But usually they just see us running in the.
There were
in the
many
venue,
people who, there's that thing of like the Doppler effect where like when a car goes past, it goes like.
Yeah.
That was like my experience
Yeah.
of people. I would be running through and go, "Hi, Daniel."
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Hello," and then I'd never see them again.
Yeah.
There were people who were at the event who I was like, "Dude, I really want to hang out." And I guess it was also the part of there being so many people there. But there were people who I knew were there who was like, "Let's have a drink together," who I never got to even see at the
Yeah,
event. Like
yeah.
I didn't even know. I only found out they were at the event afterwards because they put it on their Instagram story. So to any of those people, sorry we didn't have a drink. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Definitely happened to me as well.
Yeah. Well, maybe to other events we can meet people.
Yeah.
But Concept 101, I think we kind of have to work during the day. It's a day of work for us.
Yeah.
So, if we're not running around, then there's no lectures happening.
Yeah, true.
It's funny. I've seen some people that I haven't seen for like years at the event, like 4 years plus. Like I met a guy that
My parents. I haven't seen them in 4 years.
there was a guy that when I did my art test at De Montfort University ages ago, before I even went to uni, I met him there, and then like he came down to the event, and I think he's like a concept artist now, but he's really working his way towards it. And that was super nice. Or I met someone from my university that I also haven't seen for like 3+ years, who's a lecturer at my uni now. And I was like, yo, what the heck? Like, it's incredible. And we only spoke like super quick. I was like, yo, man, it's awesome you're here. We should talk.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, at some point I felt bad as well, because some people they came to me and they really wanted like to kind of interact, and like some university people and stuff like this. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I just cannot speak to you now. I was speaking to me and I was just like, I'm sorry, man, but I've got to go, and we'll speak later, and then it just never happens.
Yeah, I guess it's just the impossibility of you can't be everywhere at once. It'd be lovely to be, but
Look at us complaining like because how busy we are, like fucking dickheads.
No, what do you mean? We were busy.
I'm with dickheads for different reasons, I think.
Well, if you go to other events, then maybe where we go, like NonStop Barcelona or something like that, then you could just hang out with us.
That was a pretty okay transition. I give that a 6. That was okay. Do another one.
How do you like this transition? Tell us in the comments.
Here's the transition. You go like this. You go anyway. So like we were saying, wow, we were really busy all day at the event. It was non-stop. Talking of non-stop, we went to NonStop Barcelona this year.
Yeah, pretty good.
What do you rate that 1 out of 10?
Yeah, 7.
Yeah, I think I would.
Better than.
I'll take a 7.
I want to say also.
We've got another transition.
No.
After this, we kind of had to go relax in the sun, and we went to Barcelona.
Yeah. That's not a transition at all.
That's more storytelling.
Get out of here.
So what do you think
Message
about?
us in the comments. Which transition do you like the most?
No one is gonna say anything. It's gonna be empty desert.
Yeah, give us more transition ideas, please, in the comments. Thank you.
So, NonStop Barcelona. Is it time to talk about NonStop Barcelona?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right.
Well, it was great. I think
Awesome.
We were very kindly invited by Juan.
Juan Carlo,
Yeah.
the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
who's organizing NonStop, and it was amazing. It was like a 3-day event, with actually no 4 days
days,
event.
yeah.
Yeah, it turned out to be 4 days, and it's very different from our event.
Yeah.
And it was amazing to see how different events can be done and how they can both be very enjoyable. And
Yeah.
I think all the stress and the kind of very fast paced of our event is very nicely counterbalanced by how NonStop is,
Yeah.
which is giving
Chill.
more time to people to meet, to
Yeah.
enjoy, to go to the pub together, and repeat over many days.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really great to be not organizing it and just being like, now we can speak to people. We don't have to worry about anything else, and we can just meet people, enjoy the beer, enjoy the food,
Yeah.
and watch some great lectures as well.
I had a really good time. It was really great catching up with people. We know quite a few of the people who are doing lectures there, so it was lovely to see them again, chat, have some beers with them. I want to do like a mini holiday review, pretty much.
Yeah, so
on the
First,
But
I'll start.
okay, you start. So we took a flight together.
We took a flight together. Yeah,
We held hands.
we didn't.
they
the
did.
fuck?
They
We
did.
did.
They
They
did.
did.
Yeah.
You can do like in the subtext narrator voice. They did.
So there's a black and white flashback.
We landed in Barcelona still in the morning, actually. So we had plenty of time to explore Barcelona.
Is it going to be that detailed? Are we
No,
telling people
just
So
holidays?
at 3:30 we woke up. I
I had a coffee
I think I had pate and tomato on toast for breakfast.
at
I already had
3:30.
my food made because I was stressing
We
out.
had some sandwiches made for the flight. I'm quite into this. I could actually do this,
Yeah.
break that. But anyway, we got to the flight really early, arrived there at like 4:30, tired as shit. And then we arrived in Barcelona around 7. And yeah, we had a good day by ourselves without Jules there, because Jules was already in a different part of Spain.
Yeah,
By
I
himself.
was in Madrid enjoying the nice city. It
Yeah.
was great. Yeah.
Yeah. On his by lonely alone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why he came
I
down.
was supposed to meet my parents, but then the flight got cancelled, so I was in Madrid by myself.
They sent him a text message saying, nah.
You know what? Never mind. We don't want to see you. No, but Madrid, a great city, amazing museums. Had a great time, and yeah, I took a train, insanely fast, like 2 hours and a half to go to Barcelona.
Yeah.
Which is like a greater distance to go to like Edinburgh. To
I feel like
London,
the
think.
Spanish rail system puts the British one to shame.
Yeah.
Most rail systems put the British one to shame.
Yeah.
Pretty easily, I'd say,
Yeah.
actually, yeah. But so you came on at the same
day
day as us,
after.
but like essentially, no, you came like super late in the evening on the first day.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We came by me and Stefan just essentially, first day, we just like walked around the city for like 5 hours. I think we did like 37,000 steps or something.
Yeah.
That
The
was
guy,
great fun.
the guy who was like, who met us at Airbnb was like, you should see all these things, but don't like you just go on the underground. Don't walk. It's too long. And me and Dan just started and just walked from one side of the Barcelona to the other.
Yeah, you can walk across the central city in about like 2 to 3 hours pretty easily.
Yeah.
It was, and then we went up a mountain and saw a
Yeah.
sunset. And then we held hands.
Yeah.
Again.
Well, you got to start the day, finish it how you started, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was good.
The plane back.
But then
Never mind.
I remember I remember we looked from the hill that we were at, like not a mountain, but it was really tall hill. And we looked down and like, that's where our accommodation is, like on the other side. We're like, oh fuck, we have to walk it back now.
That was actually a little bit traumatizing, seeing how far we'd walked.
Especially when you probably walked past 20 tube stops.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
But it was good exercise. We sit down at our desks all day. It's a good
Yeah,
excuse.
yeah.
So then the next day, I dragged everybody up a mountain,
It was
That
very
was
nice.
a proper
It was very
mountain.
nice.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
Montserrat,
Montserrat.
which was beautiful actually. I think
Incredible.
it was. I mean, so we went and saw the Sagrada Familia briefly, but obviously to go and see Sagrada Familia, which by the way is amazing. I think one of the kind of wonders of the world. You have to book like very many weeks in advance so we can get tickets to go in. But we had a nice look at the outside, and then our tour guide not tour guide, but the guy who owned the Airbnb, who decided to be our tour guide essentially. He just wouldn't leave.
Yeah, he just kept talking, do this. And we're like, okay.
He told us that Sagrada Familia was inspired by Montserrat, and then he showed us some photos of it. And it's like, holy shit, this is really nice. So we decided to travel the whole way across from Sagrada Familia to Plaza de España, I think.
Yes, Plaza de España, and there we
Got stuck in a protest in the middle.
Ah, yeah, that was fun.
Where we were like, what's going on?
And there's like hundreds, I don't know how, if it was hundreds
I would
of
say
people.
thousands, probably.
It was thousands of people. And you're just like walking through this
Yeah.
fucking maze of people.
It was cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
I don't know what they were protesting about. I'm not going to say I agree with it or disagree with it. Could be good or bad. But anyway, yes, we went to Plaza de España. We took a train the whole way to Montserrat with Jacob and Piotr.
If you do go to Barcelona, I think that's definitely a good thing to do in your trip.
Sure.
If you have a week, great.
Yeah,
Great
whole
way
day.
to go out of the city and have some nature. It's very nice. It's linked to the Sagrada Familia as well.
Yeah. And also you can buy a ticket to the train and the rail car the whole way up.
Yeah.
So we took the rail car up, which was great, if not a little bit... I mean, it wasn't scary.
No, it was
I
fine.
find rail cars a bit creepy.
Really?
Yeah,
I do,
like,
yeah.
just suspended by a rope. I don't
Yeah.
trust
Yeah.
that. I trust metal birds in the sky instead.
Better no ropes at all.
Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty amazing. And then we had a great walk around. We kind of were there during sundown. It was beautiful. Had some nice food up there. And then we made the horrible mistake, which I'm going to take the blame for, of deciding to walk back down Montserrat. Which when I spoke to the tour guide, she was like, yeah, it's fine. There's a nice path. It will take an hour. It's a lovely walk. And we were like, okay. And of course, for the first 10 minutes, it was a lovely path and a nice walk. And then very quickly, it just became like cliff.
It was.
Towards the end, it's just like so many opportunities to slip down.
Yeah.
And like
None of us were dressed for it.
no one of us were for it. And like it's like if you fall, you probably break something, and then you have to wait. You probably don't have to wait. You probably need to still somehow go down.
You either go down
yeah.
or someone
Yeah.
would go back and pick you up.
And
That's how
she was like, oh yeah, you'll end up at the train station. We ended up in the middle of a
we
random
did.
village.
Yeah.
Random village. You're like, where the fuck we are?
Well, it is possible we just fucked up and went to the wrong place.
I don't think so. We followed the sign.
We did follow the sign.
Yeah.
Um,
There were definitely points where, like, I was looking at. I remember we got to like a fork in the road down Montserrat, and like I say road, I mean tiny edge of cliff.
in broken rocks.
Yeah, broken
falling.
rocks. And there was like two options. It was like slightly less broken rocks or more broken rocks. And we were like, I think that's the slightly less is the path. It was just like there were quite a few points like that. But it was great. It was great. It probably not for Pietro. Pietro decided to carry both of his bags down up
like
and
two
down the
backpacks.
mountain, which was all of his stuff for the trip. So he probably had less fun than us. I decided to wear dress shoes up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
I
You had
think
the
I had a
Dr.
good time.
Martens
I think
shoes.
had a good time.
Yeah, but next year I would like to go back again, but with the proper clothing.
Yeah,
to
and
go.
we could even
There's,
go up and
there are
down
hikes
or do a
around.
whole day trail.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it could be fun. Yeah.
It's incredible. I want to go back as well. And it's just like it's such a I mean from even though it was a little bit painful like walking down, I think it was still worth it. I'm happy that I took that instead of like going down by the
It was a team building exercise in not dying.
Yes, and then we took a picture of the CONCEPT101 and we're like, hey, look at us. And
Yeah,
that was great.
good.
And what about concept art? So we went
yeah,
back
the
to the
actual
event.
event.
Oh yeah, so then the next
yeah.
day the event starts at like 3:30, so it's quite a nice, relaxed like start. So we kind of just like wandered about. I think in the morning we got some coffee.
we actually had breakfast.
or the night before we drank. Just presume that every night we went drinking because we
Yeah.
did.
Because
So-
also that's
Until
what
3 in the morning.
That's like the event organizes pub and bar sessions kind of
Yeah.
thing. So like it's amazing because everyone just goes out together and
Yeah.
you can it really creates a nice atmosphere where people can just chat and but like chat until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So it was great.
So then, yeah, the started at 3:30 with Pablo's talk, which was really great. That was one with so Pablo actually spoke in, although he's like obviously extremely fluent in English
Yeah.
because it was a Spanish event. He actually did that talk in Spanish, which
Yeah.
I've never listened to it's not foreign language because it's in Spain, but to me foreign language lecture. And they had these really cool little they had a live translator there. They had these little earpiece things you put in. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The effort they went to for everybody.
I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like, oh wow, so the whole event is going to be in Spanish, and turns
Yeah.
out it was the only talk in Spanish.
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I was fully
it's also
prepared
great because
to-
I think a lot of Spanish people that came there don't necessarily speak English fluently.
Yeah.
So I think it was even better for them when people started to speak English later on.
Which, talking about that, to every single person that we met there, thank you so much for speaking English to us. It was so sweet. Like, every single time I went up to a group of people, and obviously the majority of people at the event were Spanish, the fact that everybody immediately switched to English was, like, incredibly kind. So, I mean, I guess, like, all of us kind of just want to say thank you for being so fucking nice to us and
Yeah,
accommodating
thanks,
us
man.
in such an
Thank you,
amazing
guys.
way. Like, I don't think I've ever felt like such a special little boy.
Yeah, like, you know, giving advices on how to visit stuff or like
Yeah.
where to go, giving us like oh, you need to take this route to go there or whatever. Just very
Or helping with
bunch of
translation.
amazingly friendly people. Like even ordering, I think it was you, Stefan. You wanted to order a specific thing at the bar, but the barman only spoke Spanish, so someone helped you to.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, Anda
yeah.
was helping me out
Yeah.
a lot with. I was like, oh, I want to order non-alcoholic drink,
Yeah.
and he was like, this is how you do it. You say sin alcohol, and then I would say, then he would wait there, make sure that it's properly done, and then even even I got help when we were booking that steak place. That was not
Oh yeah,
done by me.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
So that was done by, and I just forgot the name.
Is it Mario?
Yeah, it was Mario.
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone was super fucking nice, and thank you for including us, because the event itself, you know, Juan Carlo was incredibly accommodating actually, and I think he organizes. It was not like an event that I've ever been to be honest. Like every event I've been to, because our event is very much based around our experience of how events function and run and what an event should be, and to go to one that was so wildly different in terms of like the atmosphere and the kind of like thought process behind why it's organized was actually really eye-opening, I think.
Yeah.
To like, you know, seeing a totally different approach to networking and building something like that. And I think it's a great event. I'd highly recommend people go to it.
It's one thing that's really good about it is that you don't just do the event, and majority of the people and the speakers go and, for example, have a food together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Something that I don't know if it's possible, and I don't think it's
I
really
think we have
possible.
too many
Yeah, I think
people
when you have
to
like
do that, yeah.
almost 1,000 people, that's like impossible to rent
And you
a restaurant.
totally, yeah.
You know.
But also this allows for people to meet again and again for like a few days.
Yeah.
And so by the end of the event, you've spoken with many, many people, and like I feel like you get a sense of community,
Yeah.
which is a bit more developed. Because if you just at our events, it's one day, which is also
It has its own benefits,
own
yeah.
benefits. But you probably stay with your friends, or maybe you still meet people, but
You don't meet them
You meet them for
repeatedly.
like 2 hours and then bye, and like see you next year. So that was an amazing thing to just live, I think.
Yeah.
Really relaxing. Barcelona was very nice. The lectures were
Yeah.
very
Leah
impressive.
Pinto,
Yeah.
Lucio Meunier, Jad and Tim got an extra one because Jam dropped out.
Nacho's
Nacho's-
lecture
Sarah
was
did,
amazing.
Sarah, the art director,
Yeah.
DeLucci.
Sarah DeLucci, Robert Valle.
Yeah, Robert Valley.
Oh, yeah.
His was
Very
super cool.
inspiring. Such a cool story that this guy has.
Yeah.
Um,
Did we say anybody?
Lucy Meunier.
Pablo, Chromatic.
I said Lucy.
Oh, Lucy.
Chromatic.
Yeah,
I
Chromatic.
said them too.
Did it send you?
You guys aren't listening to me. What the
yeah.
fuck?
What? I wanted to make a joke about you saying. Anyway, failed.
It was great though. Did you say Leah Pinto?
Yeah.
But it was super good. Yeah, I had a really good time. And again, like talking about the diversity of talks that you get to see at stuff, like I think Juan Carlo did a really good job of having a nice diversity of things going on. Whether you were talking about like Nacho, talking about like his insane art going from like hyper realistic painting to like super stylized, or Leah Pinto talking about working with Alberto Mielgo, Robert Valley talking about being an actual animation director.
Yeah.
And then you have on the other side of things, Pablo talking about hyper realistic concept art, and Sarah DeLucci talking about how to actually build sets
Yeah,
and
art
the
direction,
practicalities of these things. And it was a really good time, and I really felt like I had learned something
Yeah.
unique from each one.
Yeah, I think by the end of the event, we had very good overview of the industry and also very good like kind of case studies of the industry as well.
Yeah.
Which was like, for example, Natural's talk or like Chromatic talk, so useful for people to understand how the movie industry is and the game industry like functions, and like the roles and stuff like
I
this.
feel like the game industry was a little bit underrepresented, even though I know like Jad talked about it, which was which is pretty on point. I think everything that they said, but it would be lovely if there was like one more talk that was like just dedicated to games.
Yeah.
Because there was so much in
It's got to be
movies.
you, man. It's
Yeah.
got to be you.
Yeah,
Stefan Valasek,
yeah,
how
Game
to
industry
game.
king.
yeah.
Yeah.
10 years from now, like actually get it.
But yeah, so we're very, very positive with this event. And it's because I think we all
Had an amazing time.
Yeah, like it's really honest, like we're not just like, oh, it's amazing because we got invited. No, we actually had a great time.
Yeah, I'm definitely planning to go back.
Oh, me
next
too.
year.
Me too. Yeah.
I'll just break in, you know. But yeah, it was so good, and I gotta say, like, again, like Juan Carlo and his team did an amazing job, and it was really great to, I guess, now that we're on the organizational side of the events ourselves, to sit there and appreciate how much effort those guys put in, and you know, yeah, it was really a really wonderful time, and it was nice to for most of us, it was the first event we've been to in quite a long time where we weren't organizing as well. So I think that also made it really nice.
So relaxing, not having to worry about stuff, and also quite motivating for us to get back on to work on the next event. I think
totally.
It's nice to experience how nice it feels to attend an event.
Totally. Yeah. And I guess like probably it's slightly unrelated, but you know, as we're recording this, Lightbox is happening, Game Days is happening, and
arts kind of art
is happening. So if any of the people on there are, you know, listening to this, good luck. I hope it went well. It probably did. We got to meet some really lovely people from a few of those events this year, actually, at our thing. And, you know, it's great to see that, like, everybody across the kind of, are we part of the events industry now? It kind of sounds gross in my mouth. But, yeah, it's great to see all the other people who put in so much of their time and effort into organizing events, like, working so hard and talking to them about that stuff.
And it's good to see a dynamic where it's like collaboration rather than like competition. I think something that was amazing again with Barcelona. We keep talking about Barcelona because that's the event we actually went to. Yeah, is that there's no competition. You know, with events, it's just like we're collaborating. We see how we can put each other's forward or upward or like just help each other. And at the end, the community is so present. You know, no matter what happens, that we're truly motivating and it feels great.
I mean, I've reached out to the guys at Game Days because they are Slovakians as well. So, wow, Slovakians, you know, so underrepresented in the consular industry. So, I reached out to them. I think I'm gonna have a chat, just asking like, how's their event? You know, how they do it, and I think they're gonna ask me as well. And
or they might not. They might go, fuck off,
bozo. They are the ones who suggest. They are the ones who are like, let's talk about the event. Or
it's like, we're not Slovakian.
They're not.
Like, we're French. You're like, nah. Oh, well, we'll send you Jules then.
I know they're Slovakian.
But yeah, events, it's been great. I hope if, you know, this has probably been like one of the more chill episodes where we're just like, being like, yeah, so we did this. But, you know, I hope it encourages you to go to events yourself. Like, I think they are quite beyond just our event as well. Like, there's so many great things out there to go and experience. There's so many cool people to meet. And, like, it's, I think, one of the great benefits of our industry. It's one of the massive advantages. You know, if you go and talk to people in finance, they're not going to, I mean, they do go to finance conferences, but I never heard them be positive and, like, sending thank yous to people and being like, oh, I loved meeting this person. Like, it's a really special part of our community that we actually have a community. So I think, you know, get engaged with it because otherwise you're missing out.
Totally. And, you know, like no matter where you are in your career, literally no matter at which stage you are.
Yeah.
Going to events is probably the most valuable networking thing you can do. Like, don't spend $500, $600 on fucking packs, 3D packs, assets or whatever. Just don't keep your money, go to events. That's going to make your career go faster. Like, it's just gonna help you so much. Or like, I don't know, whatever way you spend your money, this is gonna motivate you. You're gonna travel, you're gonna meet new people. It's just gonna be like great time.
Stop buying avocado toast and coffee, you fucking millennial.
No, but you know, like, it's just like, if you want, honestly, a cheat code to how to make your career go faster than others, be social, go to events. That is a real cheat code.
What if, actually, it's something maybe for another episode, but what if you can't go to events? Or maybe we can talk about it quickly. Like, what if you are in
could you not go?
Let's say you really don't have money, or you are in a country that it's impossible to travel.
I mean,
like tons of money to travel to other.
Yeah, I mean, I think many people find themselves in that position. I think luckily now there's more and more events. Like, they had one in Icon Manila happen this year as well. They've been around for a long time, but I know thingy. Serrano, who's a really great concept artist, was involved with that, and that looked amazing. And you know, at the end of the day, like, I think we've spoken about this before, like the financials of being a concept artist, and like, yes, unfortunately, it can actually be quite expensive to be involved with professionally. And obviously, if you can't go to events, then don't go. Save the money for things that you actually need and are appropriate.
Yes.
I think as much as we'd love to harp on about events, like it's obviously a luxury thing to be able to go, right? It's not food, it's not water, it's not heating. So, that's up to you as an individual to put your money somewhere sensibly. And I hope that if you can't go to events now, that you can get your career to a point where you can go in the future.
Also, you can, if you live, if it's hard to go to an event because of whatever life reasons, you can always, if you live in a big city or, if you live where other people are, chances are that you have like-minded people not too far from you. Nothing stopping you to create your own event, not necessarily a big event, but nothing stopping you to be like, oh, let's meet in this cafe or like
our
drink and draw, that kind of stuff. Like it's, like you don't need to book anything. You can just say, oh, let's all meet up in this bar. And maybe you have 2 people coming and then you do it again and maybe you have 4 people coming. And then after like a year, you have like 20, 30 people coming and that's your own mini event.
Yeah.
So it's not, it probably will take time, but time is not free.
I mean, our first like event, quote unquote, was we just invited a bunch of our friends from a Discord server and it was like 30 people.
Yeah.
So that was it. Like, yeah, you're totally right. Like you can do, and if there aren't concept artists around you, go for the next best thing. Other artists. At least if you might not be able to talk to them about digital painting, but at least you can talk to them about painting and your mutual appreciation of the arts. And, maybe they can get you into cool stuff and you can get them into cool stuff. That was the same for me when I lived in Oxford, which isn't a tiny town, but it's not London. But I didn't have many people who are interested in concept art there. So I mainly just spoke to other people who are into art, about art in general. And I'd be like, do you know about photo bashing? And they'd be like, what the fuck are you on about? And I go, sorry, I meant oil painting.
Also, funny thing, I'm pretty sure that there's already that kind of stuff happening near where you live, right? There's probably, like I heard at Barcelona actually that there were another Swiss event, which I never heard about in my life. But apparently there is some concept art Swiss stuff. And
it's probably very expensive to get in.
But
2 gold bars.
So like just look, but don't look like concept art in your town. Like just look hard, maybe, or go on Facebook groups or whatever there is that's big near where you live, and you probably will find something. Yeah. We've got one last question, I think, or one last thing we'd like to talk about. Is so what's next? What's like now we're trying to organize the next event.
I'm gonna go hide in a cupboard for a year. Sorry, that's all I can do.
So we're trying to organize the next event. Hopefully better, bigger, better. And with everything we've learned from Barcelona and also from making our own events, we're gonna try and really get better.
I think we are gonna essentially there are some obvious things that we know they might not have been the best. Like there were some audio issues in some of the stages that we're trying to fix continuously throughout the day. So we are gonna really make sure that this time is a lot better, and including, the video quality or whatever. So we are trying to look into other options or other venues that can help us out with this stuff next year. But it's still just work in progress right now. Yeah. But we are taking in consideration all the feedback that we've gotten.
Yeah, we're definitely aware. Like now we've been talking about the positives, but we're also definitely aware of stuff that could be improved.
How about the leaflet that people? That was such a facepalm moment. I mean, I know of people that never found the third stage, which even though it was on the leaflet, it's just like, oh man, and like that's obviously we should have shown at the entrance, be like the leaflet unfolds. You can find everything here. And so that's something we have to do next.
If you have your name tag at home still, open it up. There's lots of stuff in there, guys.
For context, you can open the plastic bag. You can open it. I mean, if you wrote your name, you should know that you can open it. And then the little paper thing opens as well. Magic. Yeah. And there's like so many informations in there.
Yeah.
So next year we'll
figure out how to do that.
Every time we give a ticket, we'll be like, open it now!
Yeah. Show me that you can open it. Yeah. Do you understand?
Do you understand the map?
But I guess that's just the thing of like, we've been to a lot of events, and I feel like those kind of tickets are fairly standard for many events. Yeah. But it's that thing of like, because we've been to a lot, we presume everybody has. Yeah. And something to learn for next year. Yeah. Many things were learned. And, we'll keep everybody updated. Probably, I mean, realistically, there's going to be some time next year that we really start talking about the event again.
Yeah.
But till then, just know that we're working away in the shadows like a tiny covert CIA unit breaking into the enemy position. The enemy position being a new venue. That was a weird analogy. It got away from me.
Yeah.
Should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Epic.
Well, guys, thank you so much for listening today. We hope you enjoyed our little event-themed recap of the last kind of year of stuff that we've been doing, and also NonStop Barcelona. Thank you again to everybody who came to our event, all of the speakers, and everybody who's helped support us with it. We really hope you enjoyed listening, and if you want more, please feel free to subscribe and ring the notification bell. We release episodes every 2 weeks, and if you want any more additional information about the podcast or the event, please be sure to check out our Instagram linked in the description below. Thanks again, and we'll see you all soon.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Bye.